Okay, we'll call the Shakopee City Council meeting for January 7th, 2025 to order. The first item, number 2, administer of oath of office to new council members.
If both of you could stand down in front, please. And Ms. Peterson will administer the oath of office.
One at a time or both at the same time?
Whatever you would like to do.
Team it up, we can go as a team.
What would you like to do, Ms.
That
Peterson?
way if I forget it, you get it, and I, that's the way.
Always the right answer.
Good. I state your name,
I, Jay Whiting,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
that I will support the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
the Constitution of the State of Minnesota,
and that I will faithfully and justly discharge
and I will faithfully and justly discharge
the duties of the office of City Council Member
the duties of office of City Council Member
of the City of Shakopee, Minnesota,
of the City of Shakopee, Minnesota,
to the best of my judgment and ability.
to the best of my judgment and ability.
So help me God.
So help me God. Congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations, congratulations.
Congrats.
Welcome back.
Thank you. We're good.
Congratulations to both of you.
Item number 3, can the clerk take the roll, please?
Councilmember Delaney,
Here.
Councilmember Whiting,
Here.
Councilmember Contreras,
Here.
Councilmember Lara,
Here.
Mayor Lehman.
Here. Item number 4, please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item number 5, approval of the agenda. Any changes to the agenda from council or staff?
Nothing from staff, sir.
Councilor Contreras.
Mayor, I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Is there a second?
Second that.
Motion by Contreras, second by Whiting. Any discussion on the motion? Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 6, consent agenda. Any changes to the consent agenda?
Nothing from staff, sir.
Changes from council?
No, sir.
What's the wishes of council? Councilor Contreras?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Is there a second? I'll second. Second by Mr. Lara. Discussion on the motion? Mr. Reynolds, read the consent, please.
Yes, sir. These are the consent agenda items for the council meeting on Tuesday, January 7th of 2025. 6A designates individuals authorized to perform certain banking transactions. 6B is the contract for lobbying services of the Minnesota State Legislature for 2025 through 2027. 6C approves Minnesota Department of Transportation Safe Routes to School Infrastructure Grant application. 6D declares one vehicle as surplus property and authorizes its disposal. 6E awards the installation of the Quarry Lake Picnic Shelter to RIC. 6F is a contract with Kopman for playground equipment and installation for Killarney Hills. 6G is a designation of the official newspaper for 2025 and designates the city's website for transportation project notices in 2025. 6H is a donation from Willard and Mary Ann Pitzner Donor Fund to the Fire Department. 6I approves an extended construction hours for Xcel Energy's Blue Lake Generating Plant improvements.
Thank you, Mr. Reynolds. We do have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Discussion? Seeing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 7, public comment. If you are here for an item not on the agenda, now would be the time that we would hear your comments. So if you're here for an item to address the council on an item that is not on our agenda, please, we'd welcome you to step forward and we'd love to hear from you. So, last call. Seeing none, we'll move on to item number 8, business removed from consent agenda. We have none removed. Item number 9 would be a recess to the Economic Development Authority meeting. A motion would be in order for that. Mr. Lara,
I'll make a motion to recess to the Economic Development Authority meeting.
is there a second?
Second.
Second by Mr. Delaney. Discussion on the motion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? We're in recess for the Economic Development Authority.
Good afternoon. I called to order the Shakopee Economic Development Authority meeting for Tuesday the 7th, 2025. If staff could please make note of the roll. Number 2, we have the approval of the agenda. We have a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
Thank you.
Second.
Second, with first and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion passes. Number 3, our reports. We have the EDA bill list. Any questions on that? Anybody?
Questions
No
from me.
questions on this side? No questions? All right. Number 4.
Madam Chair, I'll make a motion to adjourn to February 4th at 7 p.m.
Thank you. Do we have a second on that?
Second.
Perfect. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
We are adjourned. Thank you.
Opposed, none. Motion was 5-0, correct?
Yes. Sorry.
Thank you, President Contreras. We'll reconvene. Item number 11A, monetary donation to aquatics program. Ms. Dvorak.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and members of the council. One of the many joys of my position of recreation manager is I get to meet people who enjoy sharing their love and passion for recreation with members of the community. Sue Westergaard is one of those individuals. Sue's passion for swimming and helping others to learn to swim and be comfortable in the water is a great benefit to the community. Sue is here tonight and would like to address the council on the upcoming session of the Women's Water Safety Program. After we hear from her, we do ask that you approve Resolution 2025-002, accepting the monetary donation of $1,500 from Sue Westergaard for the Women's Water Safety Program. Sue, please come up.
Hello. You can go ahead and pull that toward you if you want. Yeah, there you go.
Well, we'll see if it works. Mayor, members of the City Council, and members of the audience. My name is Sue Westergaard, and I'm here again to ask you to accept my donation for the Women's Water Safety class. This donation this time is in memory of my best friend, Kathy. She was my biggest cheerleader. She encouraged me as I learned to swim during the winter of 2018-2019. And believe me when I say, I needed that encouragement. She watched the live stream of each city council meeting when I came to speak to you. Did I mention she lived in St. Paul? Every night after class, she expected a phone call from me to tell how our progress went with our students. And I don't know if she was more excited than the teachers that we have or if I am. She was just my greatest cheerleader. First, I would like to take a moment to thank the City of Shakopee for its support of the Shakopee Community Center. We have a beautiful facility. Thank you to the staff who teach our daily water aerobics classes. Thanks to the maintenance crew that keeps the center so clean, and to the front desk people who are so welcoming when we enter. Thank you especially to Katie, who continues to support my ideas. It's always interesting to see how our participants react to the various safety lessons that we teach, including how to manage a riptide. Jay suggested that at our last session, and we do have a lot of people who do travel to oceans, and so it was a good lesson for them. I want to share a story from our 6th session of Women's Water Safety. One of our 5th class, students brought her mom. Her mom did not speak English. I spent the class time with them using the daughter as a translator. We used a lot of gestures and a lot of smiles, and there were a lot of giggles. She learned to do the elementary backstroke and worked on the front float. Both her daughter and I were amazed when she went to the deep end, jumped in, and did the backstroke to the shallow end. Cheers went up from everybody in that pool. My thanks to everyone who makes this program a success. Our volunteer teachers, our receptionists, our lifeguards, our participants. Our reward is when our students become comfortable in the water and accomplish more than they ever dreamed possible. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Whiting?
Sue, thank you again for your donation, and I'm glad you had the chance to add that to the training on riptides. You just never know. So I appreciate that, and thanks again.
There's got to be an easier way to remember the key points of the riptide. I see them over and over, but I can't remember them all the time.
You swim away from.
Yeah, but there's
it's
some
trying to
signs
pull
that
out
you look for, so good thing you're teaching
flags
that.
that they put up, I think.
Yep. What's the wishes of council? Mr. Lara?
I'll make a motion to approve Resolution R2025-002, accepting monetary donation of $1,500 from Sue Westergaard for the Women's Water Safety Program.
Is there a second?
Second by
Second by Councilor Contreras. Discussion on the motion? Discussion? I'd like to thank you for your ongoing support and donations to this program and our staff at the community center for all you do too, so we appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
B, 2025 City Council Norms of Behavior. Mr. Reynolds?
That is me. Thank you, Mr. Mayor and members of council. We're reaffirming, as we have done annually since 2015, the City Council norms of behavior. This is for ultimately your use in the future, and if you see something that you would like it for, that you think should be adjusted, please, now is the time to reflect upon that. These have been put in since 2015. There have been some minor adjustment over the years, but frankly, this is pretty much what was passed in 2015. So I'll go through them and then have some comments on some of them as well. The first one is speak only for yourself, not on behalf of another council member, unless specifically tasked by your colleagues to speak for the group. Please remember that the power from an individual council member comes from your vote as part of the majority of the council itself. Don't question motives. Assume others have positive intentions even if you disagree. And frankly, that's for both council and staff. We all are seeking to be good public servants here, and we should keep that in mind. Always be respectful of one another. The public process, and sometimes I think that doesn't get emphasized enough, and of staff. Do not criticize staff or others in public. Remember, just because you don't like a process or the results, it is what we have. We're a representative democracy, and basically when we have 5 groups or we have people on a body, basically the staff works for that 3 and 3 or above depending on the particular resolution. Aim for consensus, but accept the decisions of the majority once it has been made. Stay focused on the role of an elected official, which essentially are policy, prioritization, and resident representation. Work through the city administrator and never through line staff. Do not attend staff meetings, trainings, or group functions unless specifically invited or scheduled through administration, and do not loiter in work areas. Sometimes I think that council members don't understand or forget the impact that you have just by your presence in a workspace. City staff wants to help. They want to make you happy. They want to do things that move things forward. And just being in the area, as we've seen, not for 8 or 9 years now, but it, you know, it can have an impact on staff, so please keep that in mind. Respect staff and the fact that they work for the city council as a whole. Again, 3 votes or more. Not for you as an individual. Do not expect them to, 1, engage in the fray, i.e. trade secrets, gossip, or triangulation. Make your individual case on an issue, in other words, take sides, or be your insider or informant. Such activities by individual council members undermines the leadership of the city council, individual departments, and the organization as a whole. Council members should come to meetings prepared and willing to take part in discussions with their ideas and viewpoints as part of the process to make the best decisions. This helps to build consensus and strengthen the city council's actions as a body.
Thank you, Mr. Reynolds.
Yep.
Questions? Questions? Wishes of council? Mr. Whiting?
Mr. Mayor, I'd like to make a motion to adopt the city council norms of behavior.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion by Mr. Whiting, seconded by Mr. Delaney. Any discussion on the motion?
Trade secrets, not trade secrets.
Trade secrets.
Okay, so there's a difference.
All that
No,
stuff
no
that
hyphen.
makes us special and innovation and that we don't want to share with nobody else, right?
No, I don't think that's what it is. Okay, just checking.
Mr. Reynolds, how are we as a council, since it's the same that are reelected now, how are we as a council doing on these? We doing pretty good?
That's not my decision to make, Mr. Mayor. This ultimately is your document. Staff does not have a role in those determinations. That is up for you as a body to determine how you're doing, and if it needs to be adjusted, that's up to the body.
Okay,
It's not up to staff.
all right.
Has anybody been trying to catch the firefighters having breakfast or
Chasing the truck around.
chasing the trucks? Okay, we're good.
All right. All right, is there any other discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Item number 12, liaison administration reports. I think we start on this end this time, Mr. Lara.
All right, let's see. Yesterday, the school board swore in 3 members to the school board. 2 were incumbents, 1 was new. This morning, I attended the swearing in of Commissioner Brennan and County Commissioner Brennan and Commissioner Weckman-Brecky for their new terms. And tomorrow, I have a meeting with downtown businesses.
Very good. Councilor Contreras?
Thank you. My official liaisons will be coming up this Friday, but this morning I did have the honor of attending Commissioner Brennan and Weckman-Brecky's swearing. So.
Very good, thank you. Mr. Whiting?
Thank you. On the 18th, we had the MVTA meeting. A few projects we're working on. Rather large project on the Burnsville bus garage. It's actually phase 2, which is going to end up being a $10 million project in the end, but building some new maintenance garages in the back. Also, we're looking at converting 4 buses to trolley look. So it's not like getting some old trolleys, and it's actually taking a new bus frame and converting them to the look of a trolley. And this came through some negotiations and discussions with Canterbury. So as part of a future circulator, these are not going to be specifically for that use. They'll be used other places, but when there's events in town, they might have those trolley buses running around. So that's kind of cool. A few other details I also wanted to mention coming up on Thursday, January 9th, is the ribbon cutting for the MVTA Connect, which is, if you're not familiar with that, that's a new service for Shakopee, which is going to be a great opportunity for you to just pick up the phone and get some transit service right to your door and to other places. This is going to be new to Prior Lake and Shakopee. So more information to come, and ribbon cutting is on Thursday, January 9th at 11 at the Marshall Road Transit Station.
Mr. Whiting, do they have a site on there to where people would contact if they wanted to schedule a ride or get pricing or anything?
You should be able to download the app.
Yep.
And you should be able to go on the website, MBTA's
MBTA,
website, and
yep.
get it through there too. I suggest getting the app, and I can get some more information on downloading that.
All right, very good. Mr. Delaney?
Okay, Shakopee Public Utilities, they're supporting Hockey Day Minnesota by flooding the rinks. AMI is going through the continuation on installations. Should close out next year. So far, only 2 residents have chose to opt outside. We are going through a appeal process for 1 resident. And the purple light replacement is still ongoing. If you drove around while it was snowing out, you can see some of the purple lights. Looks pretty cool, but they are replacing those. As far as 169 Coalition, we have our upcoming meeting Thursday, and I think everybody's seen these. I dropped them at your seats there. We have gone through our 169 priority projects. You see what you have in here is kind of a snapshot of things that have been accomplished over the previous sessions, and what we're looking at accomplishing going forward from the priorities from the different membership is also encompassed there. So we'll go through that Thursday meeting, then we'll kick off it with a legislative update.
Oh, your mic a little.
I'm sorry.
There you go.
Legislative update, I think February or January, we're going to decide that at the meeting Thursday. And that's it as far as everything I got going on.
And the pink, purple lights are defective, new defective, and they're being replaced under warranty?
They're being replaced under warranties. They were defective, and then, of course, we did see the purple lights, and so they are being replaced under warranties.
Prince thing. Prince, right? Thank you. My report is going to be kind of limited to MLC and the State House and the Federal House, things that are happening. Pretty fluid right now, I got to say, but there was a bill that was put forward by a Federal House member, Tenney, I think the name is, taking funding from states that have licenses or IDs to illegal immigrants. So that would be highway funding. So I'm going to keep an eye on that because that would have a pretty big effect on Minnesota federal funding on projects that have federal funding. You know, I don't know how MnDOT and the state would handle that, or how it would affect some of our projects that have some of both in funding-wise. At the state level, y'all probably watching the news. I think right now, as of today, the Senate is tied and the House is 1 on the GOP side, and there's a couple of different special election and lawsuits and all kinds of stuff going on. So we really don't know if we're even going to have a normal start, because there's talk of, you know, boycotting, opening, or whatever. So we'll have to keep an eye on these things and see what the final end result is. They didn't get a bonding bill last year. So if they do a bonding bill this year, and depending on how all the numbers are, you know, if it's a shared power agreement that ultimately comes to end result, you know, will it be a bonding bill where everybody gets what they're asking for? Will it be a bonding bill that it's very limited? And these are questions we don't know. We're just going to have to keep an eye on these things. So,
Might be interesting. Maybe they'll get something done.
well, we'll see. We'll see. So I'm going to keep an eye on that. I am meeting with our state folks this week, and I am meeting with our federal people next week. So, you know, sometimes our job is difficult at times, but I got to say, looking at what they're dealing with right now, maybe they're just a little bit more difficult than we are. So that would be my report. There's going to be a lot more probably next meeting. So, all right, very good. Mr. Reynolds, you have anything to add?
I do not, sir.
All right, 12A, city bill list. Questions on the bills?
None for me.
None.
None? Any other business?
I have a couple items.
Let's go here first then.
First, I meant to pull this off of consent. I just wanted to make a comment on the Willard and Mary Ann Pitzner donation. I wanted to just give them a thanks for their consideration of their donation, since it was under the amount that we would put under our general business. So thank you to them. We will put it. Looks like we're going to be putting it to great use. Second, I would like to see if we can bring back the density discussion that we had last meeting, and hopefully we can come to a consensus again.
Okay.
Oh, my turn. For me, I just want to take a moment to thank our city staff. Your hard work is deeply appreciated, even though it's not always recognized. I know some examples I can give you is our city council packets. They're meticulous. They show up at our house. They show up online for transparency. Then we have questions, whether it's on the packets or whether it's ad hoc questions from residents. You're always efficient in giving us answers to help provide answers back to the residents as far as promptly. And you do this really well while you're carrying out your other efforts toward making our city better, and carrying out the operations of the city. So again, I just want to say thank you, and if I ever forget to thank you, I apologize, because what you guys do is incredible, and I, again, just want to say thank you for that.
Very good, and I think all of us probably have the same feeling toward staff for the work that they do on these things. Mr. Whiting?
I just want to acknowledge Mr. Lara's comment on the density and see if staff is ready to bring that back. And I think, that's a good discussion to have. I'm not sure if we need consensus on that for you guys to do that. I think it was part of the plan, as I recall.
Mr. Thompson, if I'm not mistaken, under the rules, it would take those in the prevailing side would have to make that motion in a second, and then three would have to support making that motion to bring it back, but it has to be started and seconded by the prevailing side. Motion to reconsider, basically.
Yeah, Mr. Mayor, yes, a motion to reconsider needs to be brought by somebody in the prevailing side. I understood this just to be a request to put an item back on the agenda. For discussion, that only requires a majority vote to put it on the agenda.
All right. Well, if we can put it back on the agenda, I don't have a problem with that, but if it's the same, I don't know that it's going to change anything.
Well, I think we need to have a better discussion on how it affects.
Okay.
So then I'll make a motion to put that back.
Make a motion, you just direct staff.
Mr. Reynolds, can we do that?
Yeah, if that's the wishes of the council, absolutely.
3, 4?
We will do that.
Okay. Anything else?
No.
On that note, I would just want to get a little bit more understanding on the different ranges that we're looking at and how it affects some of the zoning.
We good?
Mr. Lara?
I'll make a motion to adjourn to January 21st, 2025, 7 p.m.
I'll second that.
Motion by Mr. Lara, seconded by Contreras. Any discussion on the motion? Discussion?
No.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. We are adjourned.